trying to contact you regarding your car's extended warranty.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Christopher, the expert of the Planet of the Apes, will you give me just a quick little rundown?
I'll do you one better. I'll give you just a quick rundown of the whole series here. First one, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That's when the apes get smart, and James Franco causes a worldwide pandemic.
I got scared that I had the virus.
Humans die, apes get smart. Second one, Dawn. Humans versus apes. Humans are dying, they're fighting with apes, and they get in a battle. Third one, War of Planet of the Apes. There's another second outbreak where humans go dumb. They can't talk. And apes go smart. Now, fourth one, this one takes place 300 years or so after. So Caesar's gone. All different apes. You know, they got sticks and they train birds. They got pets. They talk pretty well for themselves. And humans are rare. They're basically almost extinct and they can't talk. The main guy is Noah. He is a son of a bird caller or something. There's good apes, there's bad apes. He's trying to save some people from the bad apes, and he runs across a human woman, and she's different because she is a little more smart. We'll just say that.
Chris, commendable. You did a fantastic job not only breaking down the previous three, but this one as well. Would you recommend this to people?
Well, let me tell you, as a man that's seen them all recently, if I were to rank, I'm taking Wahlberg's out because that's the bottom, no matter which way you splice it. But if I were to rank the four films, number 1, Rise. Number 2, War. Number 3, I would go Dawn. Number 4, I would go Kingdom. It's not as good as the rest, but it's not that much, like, not a lot worse. I'd say, like, a main thing is, like, the other ones, you know the characters and you resonate with them, and this one you're learning a bunch of new ones. And the movie, it starts off pretty interesting, but there's a lot of, like, lulls, I feel like, where you're just kind of checking the watch here, which most movies have. This had it more than the other ones.
It just doesn't really compare. It's not as good as the other ones in terms of, like, characters and story too. Yeah, I found myself too, I was a little bit bored at times. It was hard to really care about the characters for me. If you're a big fan of the Planet of the Apes, a lot of people like this one. I just think it's not as strong as the previous three. So I'd recommend watching it, streaming it, waiting for it. Not a bad movie. It's just not as good as the other ones,
Don't feel like you need to rush to the theater. I'd still give it like a 3.5.
I wouldn't give it that high. I'd maybe a little harsh, but I'd say 2.5.
Ooh, wow. That's not cool, man. That's my opinion! 2.5?
Yeah, I think if we're talking, 2.5 out of 5 is a 5 out of 10.
That's a 50%.
50%. Right down the middle for me.
I think...
Because I will not watch this again. I won't think of it fondly.
I will.
If anything, I'll think, hey, maybe I should watch Dawn of the Planet of the Apes again.
Well, I guess, should we dive into the spoilers here?
Let's dive into it. Dive into it. So, I guess I have qualms. I have some
You
some
better
things
have
here.
a lot of qualms.
Listen, I got to peek into your mindset on how you feel about movies. Because I looked at my watch a few times, and that exit was looking pretty attractive.
Yeah.
If you ask me,
Yeah.
I was like, is this how Chris feels when? Because it was too long. It's like 2 hours 30 some odd minutes. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, you could have told this much faster. I was getting a little frustrated. Yeah, it's just way too long for me. I was like there's a whole rich history in this world, and it seemed like a random place to kind of put your foot down. Like, we're telling this story, like right here. From here to here, that's where we're gonna do our next 3 movies. And I was like, why? I don't know. It's a start to a new trilogy, and I'm like, the main character I don't connect well with enough. I don't know much about him. It doesn't seem like he's as engaging as Caesar was in the last 3, and I don't know if he can hold a franchise. Am I talking to a wall here? You get what I'm saying here?
Yes, I know exactly. I know what you're saying, and. I agree with you. It's too long. That's a con for every movie I'll ever put here. It's 2 hours and 25 minutes. Mm-hmm. And you could have cut that under 2 hours. Like I was saying earlier, it starts off like interesting. They're getting the eggs, they're climbing up. Oh, get the eagle egg, you know. And it's probably like 40 minutes before the town gets attacked. And
Yeah.
I can't really remember anything else that happens. He's like, oh, there's a bird.
He's like, my dad doesn't like
My
me.
dad, yeah, doesn't respect me.
I think it would have benefited too if he would have cut out like the first half, shorten it a little bit, and then spend more time with Proxima Caesar and his kind of kingdom, but also bolster that up and make it more advanced to show that like, hey, Noah's camp is a little janky, little Bronze Age, but here we're in a much more advanced age. You know what I'm saying? So that he can see like, oh wow, apes are like super smart and we're kind of the idiots. And I think it would have benefited from seeing Caesar or Proxima Caesar more, because I think he was the best part of the movie, and I thought he was a cool villain. I actually really liked Raka, his character, the orangutan.
Oh, yeah.
And my question is, why'd you kill him so soon? He could have been a good, because he
we
was
don't
actual
know he's
character.
dead. He didn't technically die on screen. He's
Well,
definitely coming back in like Planet of the Apes 7.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, no, I was just like, okay, so this guy, he's in all the posters, he's gonna be a main one, and then like, he's in it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They really pulled a Bryan Cranston Godzilla on
That's
us there.
true.
Just, I was like, you got one of the best characters and you just killed him off. He could have been so cool, like, hey, let's make some plans, you know, and, you know, I thought they were gonna do that, sneak in and be smart. No, they get caught immediately, and he gets killed on a bridge, and I'm like, you know, I don't think this one has enough juice in it to carry a full franchise. Because, like, what's the story going to be? Humans come back to, you know, to full force with guns and stuff, and they fight the apes. Hey, we already saw that. It's called War for the Planet of the Apes.
I thought it was cool. They got the little birds and they got the pets. All right, Matt, that was kind of fun because normally they're the pets.
So I'd say the best part of this was the technical aspect of the film. And I'm talking the VFX, the CGI, all that jazz, all the artistry. I'm putting $100 down right here on my table. And I predict the Corridor crew, Corridor Digital, Corridor Reacts, they're going to do an episode on this. And they're going to talk about the water sequence where that gorilla dies. And then the other shot they're going to talk about is there's a shot where Noah comes out of the rubble. Half a second. It's just a great shot of him. They're going to talk about particles on his fur, all that jazz. So I'm calling it now. You can give me $100 later. I think it looked as good as the first three. Some shots were a little bit better, but yeah, I think artistry-wise, great stuff. There were a couple chuckle moments there. Rocka was kind of funny at times. I think the guy behind me was wanting a Rocka comedy special from how funny he thought Rocka was. Just everything he said, like even if it wasn't funny, the guy behind me would just be like. I'm like, come on, man. Like, some people are just still find apes talking funny. I don't know. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, how Proxima Caesar, I liked him. It would have been cool to see him more of like reigning, because, you know, he gives a good big old speech that riles up the troops and everything. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I would have liked to see more of that. I thought it was really interesting. Rocka is kind of like one of the last standing members of these kind of religious zealots of Caesar. I thought they could have expanded more on that and really delved into like how religion and stuff is easy to manipulate, and because the same words that Caesar used, Proxima Caesar used to control people, because he's like apes together strong, but it's used in a different way. I was like, oh, interesting there. You got something, but they didn't expand on it any further. You know what I mean? That they could have warranted a little bit more. We'll dive in a little bit more on that stuff. What are your thoughts?
Well, even in the pros, Steven's a hater, man. Turning it into negatives.
I'm sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, maybe that's what the next movie. So they're gonna have a whole, you know, Planet of the Apes religious film. You got Gandhi, you got Muhammad Ape, you got whoever, you know.
But you know what I'm saying? How it would have been interesting to see these.
It would have added more runtime to the film.
Okay, well, maybe in the next one.
Yeah,
you know, get the
sentient
sentient beings learning about corruption and power. They had it set up, and maybe Proxima Caesar's still alive. Maybe that'd be interesting. So I guess there's hope.
You don't see.
Still.
He just falls in water, technically. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd say I agree. Like, the main thing you come to watch these is it's got great effects. It's a spectacle to watch. Wait for it to get on streaming, give it a watch.
Yeah.
If you're watching it, I'm assuming you've seen the other three.
Chris, I got a question for you. This year has been an unprecedented year for monkey movies. And we got so far 3 monkey movies in the form of Monkey Man, Godzilla X Kong, and KotPota. And so my question to you is, where does this one rank of the monkey movies that have come out in 2024?
I'd say it's number 2, if you ask me.
Right under Godzilla?
Incorrect.
Ooh, Monkey Man.
Give me that Monkey Man, give me that, what'd you call it, KotPota? Give me that, what is it, GXK?
T-N-E?
Yeah,
that took me way too long to get that.
TNE.
Thanks for watching these highlights from our episode of the Stale Popcorn Podcast. If you want to listen to the full episode, click on the link in the description. Please like, share, and subscribe, and if you do that with your favorite YouTuber, I'm sure they would appreciate it too. Thanks, and have a great day.